talk a lot about games, and I want to get an idea of what games you all play. We have all kinds of interest in the room, and also we're going to talk also a little bit about mobile games. Of course, when do we play them, and what do we find them useful for? As you can see on the right-hand side, there's a chat feature, so feel free to post questions there. And if you guys see any questions that you'd like to answer, by all means, please jump ahead. And then also on the left-hand side, you can see the Twitter invitation. So if you want to click on Tell a Little Bird, that'll appear on Twitter, and we'll be able to spread the word that we're here and that we're talking about mobile games. Tonight's prize, the LG G4, is courtesy of Verizon Wireless. As you know, they are our sponsors for all the mobile lifestyle chats, both on Twitter and other platforms. So tonight, they have generously provided us with an LG G4, which is an incredible smartphone. And we will give it away tonight at the end of the blab. We're going to estimate within the next 10, 15 minutes. We use these recaps to sort of summarize some of the key learnings of the chat. And I'm going to start with Zach. I want to ask you, what games do you play, and sort of what's your evolution with games? Where did you start, and what are you playing now?
Yeah, so I've definitely been a gamer for a long time. I've always been into technology, obviously, with the music, and the video game world has always been something that's paralleled that. When I was younger, I've sort of always been a big first-person shooter guy. When I was a young guy, they released the first Wolfenstein 3D for the 486 Pentium, and so I've sort of I was like Jordan's age when that dropped. And so I've sort of been and seen the whole evolution of first-person gaming, and so that's always been a big passion. But I don't just do the first person. I was really into RPGs like StarCraft, Warcraft, like all of those for a long time. And even the first-person shooters, I prefer ones that require certain levels, like high levels of thinking, strategic, problem-solving logic. Mm-hmm. So I love like Metal Gear Solid, like the new Metal Gear Solid is super fantastic. I've only had a chance to play with it a bit. I went to E3 a little while back, and I got to sort of check it out. And then, I've also really been into like games that aren't even so dynamic, involve so much action. I was really a big fan of the game Myst. I don't know if anybody's heard of that game. It was like this sort of game where you walked around these sort of like mysterious worlds and had to figure out like why you're there and like what the whole existence is, and you sort of like learn this whole story that the world is actually created due to a language that somebody was able to discover and write into a book, and it's such a vivid language that it actually manifests the world itself. So I love games that have interesting concepts like that.
Oh, fascinating. Yeah. My first foray into video games, sort of officially, was launching a LucasArts game, Battlefront, and we brought 100 stormtroopers and Darth Vader to Times Square to launch the game, and the city declared that Star Wars Day. It was like this great event, and then of course we had to learn the game, and that was a ton of fun. Jordan, how about you? Which games do you play?
I've been playing for probably like 12 years now, ever since I was a little kid, and I've always loved Madden. I've always loved shooters like Call of Duty. I've been playing Call of Duty since they had Call of Duty 2, which came out like, I don't even remember how many years ago. I'd say at least 8. I love all sorts of games. I mean, I play Trivia Crack on my phone. I played that. I don't play that as much now. I still enjoy it though. But before it got real hot, I was playing that. And I play almost anything. I love RPGs. Like Zach was talking. I love RPGs. I love League of Legends. I love really anything.
Yeah. And you obviously haven't looked too closely at those game ratings, because I don't think Call of Duty was one of those games you would be playing.
Yeah,
a couple 10 years ago.
Okay, it's the desensitized generation. It's fine.
Yeah, I guess so. Marv, just remind us again the games that you played and how they helped you recently with your recent event.
Well, these guys are a couple of rookies. I grew up on Pong and Atari, so a little bit different reference point. But recently, I've been playing a lot of this one called Lumosity, and it's really a brain game, and it's something I do every day, every morning. For those, some of you may already know, but I had a stroke on June 8th. And part of my recovery, I was supposed to actually go see a therapist and a speech therapist and some other, people. This thing kind of replaced all of that just by challenging me either on my desktop or on my mobile, and just being able to play that game anytime, anywhere is a big deal for me. So it's definitely helped out my recovery.
Is there a difference, Marv, between playing it on a mobile device or on your desktop, laptop?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a difference. There's some of the games aren't available in both places. So you get a little bit more limited on your mobile. But there's so many different games that they cycle through, and they kind of choose based off of your experience. And so it's definitely, like I said, definitely been a big help to me over the last couple of months.
Well, you look absolutely fantastic, Marv. I'm so thrilled that games are helping you and that you're recovering so well. I know you lost a lot of weight. You look quite thin over there.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've met face to face, but yeah, I've lost a lot of weight, and everything seems to be heading in the right direction.
I'm very, very excited to hear that, Marv. It's true that these guys are rookies. You played with the Atari. Our dentist still has an old Atari, and it's so much fun to go there and just kind of early and try to play with it. A lot of kids are still enjoying it. Yeah. One of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to let you go, Marv, and I'm going to let Daniel Bostic try to get in, as we had also invited him to join us and chat with the group. But thanks so much for popping in. And if anyone else wants to join us, feel free to actually knock. But
thank you.
Have a great evening, Marv. Thanks so much for joining.
See you later.
Nice to meet you.
Zach, tell me a little bit about some of the things that you hear, as far as games and, how long do you play and, all of those things that, people talk about in general games, both mobile games as well as maybe console PC games.
Yeah, well, I'm a little different. I mean, maybe it's because I'm a little bit older. I have I really don't play games for that long. So I'm really into I usually will take a break with the video games from work, but I usually wouldn't be able to play, for example, if I play Call of Duty, I love it, but I have a very short attention span with it, 20 to 30 minutes. And then if for some reason after that point, it's like a slow descent of enjoyment. And I almost feel like I start becoming just addicted to continuing playing it more and more, but my enjoyment goes down and more in a descent path. So I've just learned that perhaps what it is I just have a shorter attention span when it comes to the games. And then sometimes I like to do games when I'm feeling like it's not taking away from productivity. So as a music producer, for example, I'm really interested in breaking in more and more to the video game market. So sometimes I'll be playing a game and it's really to do research. Like I can play the GTA, the Grand Theft Auto series a lot longer than say the Call of Duty, because I feel like it's something that's something that I connect to, and I also feel like it's something that makes sense as far as the type of work that I've been doing with my music. So I think it just all depends on the individual person. But there's certain games where I can really play for a while because I'm for example, simple things like chess. When I was a kid, I was a huge chess buff. And so, for example, if I'm on a flight, I could play chess 70% of the flight,
Wow.
And so it just depends, it depends on the game, especially ones that aren't too visually intensive. I enjoy doing for a longer period of time.
That's very cool. I love how you say about, research and kind of also, find some other space in your brain, right, to let you be more creative because you work in the creative space. And by the way, if you haven't checked it out, go to DJ Bander's website, djbander.com, right?
That's right. Thank you.
It's when you log on, the music is just so great and compelling and you have to start dancing. So do it at your own risk. I'm thrilled to welcome Daniel. How are you, Daniel? Bostic. Oh, we can't hear you. I think, yeah, you'll just need to enable your sound settings from your computer, either your output or otherwise. But we'll come right back to you when you get them on, as I can't hear you. Can you guys hear him?
I cannot.
No, it wasn't coming in for me either.
Right. So it's on your settings, Daniel. Just check on your laptop or on your desktop, wherever you're calling from. So let's talk a little bit about, what do you say to like parents? Jordan, tell us, how do you explain to your parents? How do you make the case that you should be playing games, that it's okay to play games?
Well, personally, I think everything in moderation. I don't think, overdoing it is a good thing, but it's definitely, it helps with coordination. It helps. A lot of games help your memory, like Marv was talking about Lumosity. I've played that a bunch of times. I love it. There's a lot of good games out there that help with stress, that help with just everything. And as long as it's, in moderation, I really just tell them, I love it. And a lot of times, me and my little brother will play, game together, or maybe, the whole family will play something together. It's, it's good for bonding. And there are so many positive things for it. That's just what I tell them.
Yeah, it's very good. I guess you've made the case. Daniel,
I tried.
Can you let us know if we can hear you? Nope. I think we're having some challenge with his settings, but that's okay. It's okay. We got plenty to talk about. One of the things I want to be able to say to everyone on the chat on the right-hand side, if you have any questions, we are going to try to pick them up and answer them. Otherwise, we have Paul and Marty and Misty McPadden and Robin helping us answer some of your questions there. But otherwise, feel free to ask some questions of Jordan or Zach as to what they play. One of the best articles that I ever read, that I never ever forgot, and I talk about it a lot, is if you just Google this on the Harvard Business Review, it's an article called "The Gamer Disposition," and it basically talks about all the benefits that gamers that play online games in particular develop, and why employers should hire them. So if you're a parent and you're a little worried that your child may be playing too much, listen to Jordan. Everything in moderation. So absolutely, a little gaming time isn't bad. But also read this article, because it's actually very interesting as to how they help so many different skills. Online gamers are bottom line oriented. They're very collaborative, and those are skills of the new economy. And don't forget, we're training kids to do jobs we don't yet know exist. So very important to stay on top of that. Would you agree with that, Zach?
Oh yes, absolutely. It's unbelievable the way that the technology and the economy is shifting into the mobile gaming, mobile tech world. It's kind of a complete change in the way that we assess not only like entertainment, but also media and monetization of media.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's an interesting, paradox in which, and I think part of the problem, and personally, I believe that part of this issue with the mobile technology and everything, though, it kind of is an issue with overall economic problems in general that we have, because this mobile technology, it creates an immense amount of wealth, but it actually doesn't create an immense amount of like jobs or need for any labor. So it's part of the overall systemic issue of just more and more profitability going into just a smaller and smaller percentage of people, and sort of finding new ways for technology to be used in balance with, like, in synergy with humans is I think something that like we all need to focus on for the future.
It's true. You gotta think of what's coming next. So Daniel, Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent.
Finally, I'm so sorry.
I can hear you. Excellent. So Daniel, meet Zach and Jordan and the rest of the good people watching us right now.
Awesome.
So tell us where you're coming in from. Where are you tonight?
I'm in Charleston, South Carolina.
Also, you're home. Excellent.
Yes. Well, home. Yeah, it's relative. Home is a lot of places, but for the weekend at least, it's Charleston. So, yeah, I'm super, super excited.
Excellent. Have you been on Blob before?
I have not, which is why I'm clearly not great at it so far.
Nobody is. Nobody is.
Apparently, it was like I don't even know what it was doing. So it's good now. That's what matters. So this is really cool, though. This is super different. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's a great platform to have this impromptu type conversations, and what we use it for is to recap the chats, because the chats can be so busy,
Right?
and crazy. And we're talking about mobile gaming, and what are some of the games that you might play?
Yeah. So honestly, I wasn't a huge gamer until recently. Actually, I don't know that I'm still a huge gamer. Growing up as a kid, I would play occasionally Super Smash Brothers. Was my thing.
Yeah.
Like GameCube, that game rocked my world. Like I'm pretty sure it shaped my entire childhood. Not sure if that's good or not, but that was an awesome game. And so I got into college, and what good is college for if not playing video games?
That's so true. I did hear this.
Yeah. So I, trying to keep up with, a schedule and everything in my life can be pretty difficult. So I just found it was a great way to de-stress. Like, I can't even tell you how much I de-stress playing video games. Like, it's crazy. So if I'm on my computer, I'm playing like League of Legends.
Excellent.
Is a big one. I have an Xbox that I play a lot with, and I think that you're talking a lot about like perception of gamers and stuff. For me, it wasn't even so much about like playing the games. It was about like doing things with my friends, and I made so many friends at school playing those games. And then I got into mobile gaming, and I actually just started this game called Ingress, which is it's actually developed by Google. And it takes place in the real world. It's based on a handheld, and like there's like these portals around the real world that are based on like historical sites, and then there's two sides like trying to capture them. And it's something I never really thought I would be interested in, but you find like so many like historical sites and places around me that I didn't even know existed, and it's just been a blast. So.
It's an augmented reality type of game, Mark.
Yeah, it's
noting. Yeah.
When you first start playing it, it's really creepy because you're like, "Wow, this is the future."
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's very cool. Now, Josh, aka Dad, is wondering from you guys. I'd like to hear from all of you. Which phone do you find is best for gaming? Zach.
Oh, well, as far as the best game, I mean, I think that the Plus is absolutely ingenious, but that's
The bigger the better.
the bigger the better. I'm a big fan of the Plus. I'm not a huge. I haven't really gotten really into the mobile gaming side of things. I just don't find much of a desire to download and just drain battery power on the phone app. Maybe it's because I'm like a little bit older. Maybe like if I was like Jordan's age when all of this dropped on the mobile phone stuff, I'd probably be all about it. I feel, occasionally like I like that that one game where you sort of like shoot the birds across the screen or whatever.
Angry Birds? Yeah.
Angry Birds. Like that's cool. I mean, like certain ones like that are entertaining, but I haven't broken into the world where they try to take big console games that I love and put them on the mobile and like get into it. Like I think they have like one of the third-person games that I didn't mention that I think is really brilliant. I don't know if anybody's played. It's called Resident Evil, and it's really brilliant because it's like a perfect combination of like horror, action, and strategy. And I know that they have versions that are now for the iPhone, but I just don't see the correlation of why I'd want to bring it. I don't see why I would enjoy it more on the phone than on the console. So maybe that's just my own like personal. Feel.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I want to show off that I'm playing Clash of Titans
You're on it.
on my phone.
You gotta keep up with Monica.
Yeah, no, you got to keep up with me. I learned this. I find that if you want to connect with someone, just like Daniel said, it's so much fun to just get into a game, play together. I'll never forget Guitar Hero for that reason. We used to play it all the time, and my daughter was little, and she would run out of the room and complain that I wasn't letting her play. So it's definitely such a good bonding experience. And what about you, Jordan? What phone do you find best for gaming?
I'm biased. It's my current phone, the Moto X. Moto X second generation. I love it. It's big enough. Like, I had an iPhone that I used to use, and it was always, my fingers would always hit into each other, and all the buttons were so small. But it has a really big screen. And I really enjoy it. Whenever I play like Madden on it, you can play against like friends and stuff, and I love playing that. And I love it personally.
Oh,
I think
good.
that's the best
How about you,
one.
Daniel? Which game do you like? Which phone, rather?
Yeah. So this Droid Turbo I'm using, actually, I've been really impressed on gaming. I'm not like a super intense mobile gamer, but there's actually been quite a few games that have come out recently that have been ported like straight from console to phone. Like BioShock is one. You can get the full game on your phone, which is super cool. And so like, I've enjoyed using that. The screen on this thing is incredible. So that's me. That's where I'm at.
Well, the Droid also is so fast. It's got that incredibly fast processor. So
no lag, right?
I'm sure that's important.
Mike, I apologize. I do need to run in a few, though. I have a meeting I'm supposed to get to in a lend bit. Is that okay?
Yep. Yeah, we're winding down. So thank you so much, DJ.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody.
We're going to send you
Great
off.
seeing you.
See you, man.
And if anybody else wants to come in, we're just going to announce the winner. I saw, how about you ladies? Any of you interested in joining us for the last few minutes of these games? What about the overall experience of, gaming with your parents? Do you guys enjoy that? Do you try to teach them some, or is it mostly with your friends? It's okay.
Oh,
Well, actually, my dad played games before, he played before I was even born. Whenever I was a little kid, we'd play stuff like Super Smash. So personally, I play with friends, but I also play with my parents because they've always loved it. And actually, they're the ones who got me into it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm so thrilled because we actually have a winner of the LG G4, and we're thrilled that you could all join us. We had 143 viewers. This is great. And we're going to keep bringing you some special blabs. We're going to have Daniel and maybe Jordan also host a couple and talk a little bit about some of the things that they enjoy doing with their mobile life. So thanks again to Verizon Wireless for sponsoring this blab and chat. And the winner of the LG G4 tonight is Josh, aka Dad. Congratulations to Josh, aka Dad. He won tonight the LG G4. So be sure to give us your shipping information, and we'll send this great, large, and powerful phone with a great camera too, by the way, out your way. So Jordan and Daniel, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you have a great evening.
Thank you so much for having me. It was fun.
Thank you, Daniel, and thank you, Jordan. And we'll see you all next Friday, which is the 11th of September, for the next Mobile Lifestyle Chat at 3 p.m. Eastern on Friday on the VZWBuzz. Thanks again, and we'll see you all next time.
Hey guys,
Thank you.
Bye-bye.